What if I told you your blood sugar spikes aren't just about carbs or candy, but your emotions? Yeah, sounds wild, but it's backed by science. Chronic stress, anxiety, anger, even emotional burnout can silently hijack your glucose levels, wreck your metabolism, and leave you chasing a healthy lifestyle that never quite works. You could be eating clean, hitting the gym, and still feel drained, foggy, or stuck at the same weight. It's not your fault. Your emotions are running the show behind the scenes. Here's the kicker, most doctors won't tell you this. They focus on diet and exercise, which matter, no doubt, but ignore the emotional side of the equation. And that's a huge mistake. Because every time you stress about money, argue with your partner, or suppress your feelings, your body dumps sugar into your bloodstream like it's preparing for battle. That's why emotional stress and poor metabolic health go hand in hand. You're not just tired, you're stuck in a hormonal loop. Sound familiar? If you've ever had cravings after a long day, struggled to fall asleep after worrying, or felt like you're doing everything right but nothing's working, this is for you. Because emotional stress doesn't just feel bad, it throws off your blood sugar, your hormones, your sleep, and even your immune system. The good news? Once you understand how the mind and body are connected, you can actually regain control. And it doesn't require a complete life overhaul. By the end of this, you'll uncover the hidden triggers behind glucose spikes, learn how to take back control using simple tools, and finally stop blaming your diet when it's actually your stress. This is about mastering your emotions to reclaim your energy, balance, and long-term health. Ready to unlock the real secret to blood sugar balance? Let's start with the silent stress that's been messing with your metabolism all along. Most people think sugar spikes only come from what they eat, but here's the catch. Stress messes with your blood sugar just as much, if not more. When someone's under chronic stress, tight deadlines, family issues, financial pressure, the body reacts like it's under attack. That fight or flight response isn't just a leftover survival mechanism, it's a trigger that causes glucose to flood the bloodstream, preparing your body for danger that never actually shows up. Over time, that stress becomes the silent fuel behind inflammation, insulin resistance, and even belly fat. You ever notice how someone can be eating clean and still not lose weight or feel better? That's because chronic stress can spike glucose levels all day long, even if they're sipping green juice. Imagine a mom juggling 3 kids, a full-time job, and barely sleeping. Her cortisol is off the charts, which means her blood sugar is constantly elevated, even if she's eating healthy. That stress is sabotaging her metabolism behind the scenes. It's not about what's on your plate, it's also about what's on your mind. So what can you actually do? First, identify your stress traps. Is it your job? Toxic relationships? Overscheduling your life? Just recognizing where stress is coming from is half the battle. Then, start incorporating short daily habits to counteract those glucose spikes. A 10-minute walk after meals, setting real boundaries, or even just pausing to breathe deeply before a stressful call can help regulate your nervous system, and in turn, stabilize your blood sugar. It's the small stuff, done consistently, that creates metabolic balance. Now here's where it gets powerful. People who manage stress effectively see real, measurable improvements. Studies show that regular stress reduction practices can lower fasting glucose by up to 10 milligrams per deciliter. That means better energy, better sleep, better mood, just from learning how to stay calm under pressure. And when you learn to take control of your stress response, you're not just protecting your blood sugar, you're protecting your heart, your immune system, your weight, and even your brain. And speaking of emotions, wait till you see how your cravings are trying to tell you something way deeper. Ever find yourself reaching for a tub of ice cream after a rough day? That's not just you being weak, it's actually your brain trying to self-soothe. When negative emotions like sadness, loneliness, or frustration hit, the brain craves quick dopamine. And guess what delivers that hit almost instantly? Sugar! It's like emotional first aid, but one that secretly spikes your blood sugar, messes with your insulin, and sabotages your long-term goals for a healthy life. Take someone going through a breakup, for example. The stress and emotional pain aren't just hurting their heart, they're destabilizing their glucose too. They might think comfort food helps them cope, but emotionally driven snacking throws their blood sugar into chaos. That leads to energy crashes, brain fog, and more emotional instability. It's a vicious loop. Feel bad, eat sugar, crash harder, feel worse. And that loop slowly chips away at both physical health and emotional resilience. So, how do you break free? Start by recognizing your emotional eating patterns. Keep a journal, not about calories, but about feelings. Write down what you were feeling before, during, and after you ate something you didn't really want. That awareness alone builds emotional intelligence and stops the autopilot mode. Then, replace sugar with soul-nourishing tools. Call a friend, go on a quick walk, or sip some calming tea. Even lighting a candle and listening to music can shift the mood enough to skip the binge. And here's the game changer. When you start responding to emotions with mindfulness instead of sugar, your metabolism thanks you. Blood sugar levels stay more stable, energy is sustained, and emotional eating loses its grip. You stop relying on food to regulate your feelings, and start building real emotional freedom. And next, you'll learn about the sneaky stress hormone that silently runs the show behind the scenes. Let's talk about cortisol, the so-called stress hormone. Most folks know the name but have no idea how deeply it messes with your blood sugar. When cortisol spikes, especially from chronic stress, it tells your liver to dump glucose into your bloodstream. That's great if you're running from a wild animal, but not so great if you're just sitting in traffic or worrying about your bills. Over time, these constant cortisol surges wreak havoc on your metabolic health and emotional balance. Think about a corporate worker who's always hustling, skipping lunch, glued to screens, constantly on. Their cortisol is working overtime, which means their glucose is too, even if they haven't touched sugar all day. That internal stress cocktail leads to sugar cravings, poor sleep, belly fat, and a weakened immune system. It's like living in survival mode 24/7, and it slowly breaks down the body's ability to maintain balance or achieve sustainable well-being. But here's where the power comes back into your hands. Lowering cortisol doesn't mean quitting your job or moving to the mountains. It starts with small tweaks. Swap scrolling for breathwork in the morning, switch coffee for adaptogenic teas like ashwagandha, or take 5-minute outdoor breaks every couple hours. These little shifts lower cortisol naturally, helping your body stop overproducing glucose and begin returning to homeostasis. You'll feel calmer and think more clearly, too. Want to see real transformation? Combine stress-reducing habits with daily movement. Even gentle exercise like walking or yoga drops cortisol levels dramatically. Studies show that regular low-intensity exercise reduces cortisol and improves insulin sensitivity, meaning better energy and fewer cravings. Your body begins to trust you again. And when that trust is built, you're finally in the driver's seat, not your stress, not your cravings, not your hormones. Now let's talk about how to naturally stabilize all this through simple but powerful practices. Sometimes the best medicine doesn't come in a bottle. It comes from how you breathe, how you think, and how you feel. Mind-body techniques like breathwork, mindfulness, and meditation aren't just trendy, they're backed by science when it comes to managing blood sugar. When you slow your breath and become present, your body shifts out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. That shift alone can lower cortisol and reduce glucose production, giving your metabolism a much-needed reset. Take this, one study found that practicing slow, diaphragmatic breathing for just 10 minutes a day significantly lowered fasting blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes. It's simple stuff. Sit down. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Repeat. Add in mindfulness, like body scans or even just sitting with your emotions, and you're giving your nervous system the cue to relax. That relaxation helps regulate not just your mood, but your entire endocrine system. Real talk, this isn't about turning into a monk. It's about creating small emotional regulation rituals that fit into your real life. Maybe that's doing breathwork in your car before walking into work. Maybe it's a 5-minute stretch session with deep breathing before bed. Or just sipping a calming tea while doing absolutely nothing. These simple tools create a ripple effect: lower stress, steadier glucose, better energy, deeper sleep, improved immunity. It all connects. And here's what makes it even more powerful. Once you start noticing how these practices affect your mood and your sugar levels, they become addictive in the good way. Your body starts asking for calm instead of caffeine. You get better at writing out cravings, tough emotions, and daily chaos without spiraling. And now that you've got these tools, let's take it up a notch and explore how to actually build emotional resilience that protects your blood sugar for life. Emotional resilience isn't about toughing it out, it's about learning to bounce back without breaking yourself. And guess what? That bounce back power can seriously improve your blood sugar control. When you're emotionally resilient, your body doesn't freak out every time life throws a curveball. That means less cortisol, more stability, and better long-term metabolic health. It's not just good for your mood, it's a game changer for your glucose, your energy, and your overall well-being. Think of someone who used to spiral every time things went wrong, missed deadlines, arguments, traffic. Over time, they learned how to pause, reframe, and choose their response. That shift rewired their stress response, helped them sleep better, and kept emotional eating at bay. Emotional resilience helped them protect their health without even changing their diet. And it's a skill anyone can learn. You don't have to be born with grit, you build it like a muscle. Start small. Keep a trigger journal to track emotional flare-ups and how you handled them. Then practice micro-recovery techniques, step outside, stretch, reframe the thought, take a gratitude pause. Surround yourself with people who regulate their own stress well, it's contagious. Read books that grow your mindset, like The Untethered Soul or Emotional Agility. These actions don't just improve your mental health, they literally improve your body's ability to balance blood sugar and fight off disease. The long-term benefits are wild. Studies show that people with higher emotional resilience have lower rates of diabetes, heart disease, and even obesity. They manage stress more effectively, sleep deeper, and make more intentional choices with food, movement, and self-care. And once you realize emotional strength is a skill, and not just something you either have or don't, you unlock a whole new level of health. Now that you've seen how emotions impact your body, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture from the start. So now you know, your emotions aren't just affecting your mood, they're messing with your blood sugar, your energy, and even your long-term health. The good news? You've already started shifting that. Just recognizing the emotional triggers is the first step toward real, lasting change. But here's the thing, awareness without action changes nothing. What small shift will you make today to support your emotional and metabolic health? Are you gonna keep letting stress run the show? Or will you start building the emotional resilience that protects your heart, boosts your immunity, and helps you finally feel like yourself again? This isn't just about sugar spikes, it's about taking back control of your mind, your body, and your well-being. You deserve a life that feels balanced, energized, and in flow. And it's a lot closer than you think. Don't let this just be another video you scroll past and forget. Apply what you learned, start with one tool. Breathe deeper. Move your body. Talk to someone. Choose calm over chaos. Your health depends on it. And once you feel that shift, you won't want to go back. Remember how exhausting it was to feel like your body was working against you? Now you've got the tools to flip the script for good. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a step on this journey toward better health, stronger emotions, and real, lasting well-being. Your future self will thank you, big time.